Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have something new to talk about today, and it's mainly my bike's camera setup. I've gotten a lot of questions, and I thought I'd just put out a video to explain how my particular setup works. So on my helmet, I have a GoPro HERO5 Black, which faces the road in my gauge cluster, and the camera that faces me is actually just a simple GoPro Session, Hero Session 5, so the little tiny square ones. They no longer make these. I picked this up used. I actually found a little old lady on the, I think it was like 25 miles from where 9 Mills on Two Wheels lives, so out that way in Texas. She used this one time for a scuba diving trip, and she never used it again, so I picked it up fairly reasonable. I think I paid like 125 bucks, maybe less than that, maybe 100. I can't really remember now, but I've used it for at least 4 or 5 of my motovlog videos, and I really enjoy this because I don't really need a giant GoPro staring back at me, because most of the features on that I'm not going to use. So I like to, you know, keep it simple as much as possible. Plus, if you don't own a Sportster, there's not a lot of real estate in the front end of the bike for me to put stuff. So if I had a bigger bike such as a bagger or like an Indian Dark Horse or something like that, definitely a lot more places to mount cameras, but I'm limited on what I got. So with that being said, I did find something to increase this battery life. Now with this only lasts roughly 2 hours. So if I don't turn it on and off while I'm out there, it's gonna die and I could lose something. But luckily I found this online. Now with this, I can extend my runtime almost, I want to say triple the runtime. So if you take this is 1,000 milliamps built in. There's no extra battery I can stick in here. It's either fully charged or I forgot and I'm screwed. Or I can add this to it and take it from 1,000 to 3,000. So this is actually a 2,000 milliamp extending battery pack. Now the part I like about this is it includes the cases for it. So you have the regular cage case like this, where I can just, when I get to what I used to do is I used to just get out to the stop and just pull the cube and put it in my pocket. But thanks to the Alonzi quick releases that Seth Serpendo showed me, I can just take the whole thing with me, and I don't really have to fiddle with this, because honestly, I thought one time I pulled off and I didn't close this all the way, and I thought I was gonna lose the session, because this was like flat, this was like going like this, like it was wiggling, and that was like scary. So I prefer the Ulanzi quick release, and they're actually on sale this week on Amazon, so hopefully they're still on sale when this video drops on Monday. But yeah, they're like 11 bucks, these quick release adapters. I keep buying them because I really enjoy them. So for me, I'm just buying them because I want to put this Session 5 all over my bike, so when I pull over, all I have to do is just switch the session of where it is. I don't have to buy multiple cameras. I can just change it on the fly. So we'll come over to my bench, and I'll unbox this and put it on my Hero Session 5 so you can just see size comparison. I know a couple of you guys are really techie, so I'll even whip out the tape measure so you can see how long it is and things like that. I personally got this for, I want to say under 35 bucks. I didn't get it on Amazon because they didn't have it. I actually bought this directly from the company, I'm gonna probably butcher this, Sabrent. If you don't know, and you're not a techie and you don't play around with Raspberry Pis, they're one of the companies that has the Raspberry Pi in the US, the little like $50 computer boards that you can like turn into a Super Nintendo or something like that and play old video games. So I got one of them. At first I thought they didn't have them anymore, and like, oh yeah, we got a bunch of them laying around in the factory. So I've had this for about 2 months now, and I have been meaning to do a review for this. And I was just looking for the right opportunity, and with so many people asking me questions about editing and cameras and things like that, I just figured I'd go ahead and show you guys this, and before they stop making these, because this is awesome. So let's get over to the bench and take a closer look at it. All right, so I already took this out of the box. It's basically just foam packaging, like foam right here. So inside the box we have the waterproof cage, the protective cage. This looks like, yep, so yeah, standard tripod mount with the thumb screw and the battery. Now looking at this battery, it actually matches the grooves of my Session almost pretty close. I wouldn't notice. So I know I needed to flip the door over, so flip that in and just, so it goes like that. All right, so that's connected. Oh, there we go. It's getting power, it's charging. Turn it over. Yep, indicator light. So let me go ahead and just flip on my Session 5 real quick. This will be a true test because I don't think my Session 5 is actually charged. So let's see what happens. So it's lighting up. All right, there we go. So yeah, my Session 5 is actually dead. So you can see it's actually giving power to the Session 5. It thinks it's actually being charged by a cord, but it's not. So that's pretty cool. All right, so this is so far so good here. For 35 bucks, I can't go wrong. All right, so the cage is what I'm concerned about. So let me see here. It looks like there's a cutout for something, but that doesn't really make much sense to me, but okay. So let me drop this in, give her a tap and a squeeze. It's about all I can do. So yeah, I mean, that's actually not bad size-wise. I mean, when we're all said and done, we're talking a little over 3 inches, so 3 1/4. Yep, 3 1/4. So it's about the size of a GoPro Hero 8 that I have right now with a cage. So I know I was talking about I didn't want something that big on the front. I didn't want something that big with hardware that I won't use. I really don't want to buy something if I'm not going to use all its features. I kind of would try to find a way to use something else. So let me just, so my workbench is actually stainless steel. So these magnetic Ulanzi quick release adapters, they just like pop down. So let's just screw this in on here. And that's what I like about the quick releases, because I'm tired of like doing this so many times. All right. There we go. All right, cool. All right, well, that's not bad. So yeah, it's still charging. Like I said, I shoot in 2.7K wide, so that's cool. It's getting power. And this currently, I was looking at the instructions, so in the box, kind of looks like this. That's why I randomly took it out. So with this, it's just basically plug it in, fully charge in about 2.5 hours, Type-C, which is great. I'm glad people are moving that way. Basically flip the door open, put it in, which is what I did, and put it in a desired case and you're good to go. The low profile case is not waterproof and thus should not be used in or near water. Do not use the waterproof case more than 5 meters in water depth. So for you guys that do scuba diving and stuff, I don't know how far down 5 meters is, but don't use that with this case. All right, well, let's get it on the bike and see how it looks. All right, guys, well, I put it on the bike. Currently, I'm using my GoPro Hero 8 to film this whole video because it makes the most sense for me. I bought and paid for these cameras, might as well use them for other uses, and they can be used for this kind of stuff. So for those of you out there just starting a channel, like, I gotta go out and buy so much gear, you really don't have to. You can use a GoPro and it works. I'm just using, like, right now, I'm just using a lav mic that's plugged into the GoPro Hero 8 because my wireless microphone hasn't shown up yet from Amazon. I've shot a lot of my videos with a corded lav mic, and trust me, it gets the job done, but eventually you're gonna upgrade your gear. So let's take a look at my bike right now. So you can see that I have my GoPro HERO5 Session right there. So it's not that bad. I used to have this mount on the other side of my handlebars down there, but a lot of people said that I didn't like the view. I kind of agree with that. So yeah, I enjoyed the feedback. So the only place I really could mount my mount was like right here, just because on the other side of my handlebar, and because I have ABS, I have this gigantic brake reservoir. So there's not a lot of room and real estate for that. And over here is where my rock form mount goes for my cell phone. I got this really dialed in. I like where it is. I can see my GPS. I can hit the music with my hand. So that's basically, it's never gonna go away unless I change the handlebars. But for me, like, this isn't really 100% tightened down, so I gotta like buckle this down, the mount here, and screw this more down. But for me, this is great. I think the camera angle will be good. It's not that intrusive, especially from the other side. I personally think it's gonna work out great. But that's it for this week's episode. So please, if you haven't already, please subscribe, please like my videos, and please give me some feedback. You know, people told me, move the camera up. I love your channel, but just move the camera up a little bit. Give me a little better perspective. I take your advice. Go ahead. Even be mean if you have to. You know, I'm not gonna knock it and say I haven't had people give me nasty comments. It's okay, I got thick skin, we're all bikers. All right guys, well, have a good weekend and enjoy the ride.